You stand at the edge of a silent hill, the kind that belongs to no country, just light and air. Behind you, the hum of a planet. Ahead, the stars. Earth feels massive, permanent, sacred. But only because we've never lived anywhere else. We were born here. We built languages out of its winds, drew borders along its rivers, buried our dead in its soil. But the universe doesn't care about our loyalties. It doesn't measure love. It measures light curves, magnetic fields, orbital stability. And lately, those numbers have been whispering something strange. For most of human history, Earth was our only template for life, the rare jewel, the perfect distance from the sun, a breathable sky, a magnetic field, the exact right gravity to keep our bodies whole. But now, that story is changing. Thanks to telescopes like Kepler, TESS, and JWST, we've found thousands of planets. Not just cold rocks or gas giants, but real contenders. Some with longer stable climates, some orbiting calmer stars, some with more room for life to bloom, and a few might even be better than Earth. That idea should feel absurd, impossible, even offensive. How could anything be better than this blue, breathing miracle we call home? But science is indifferent to pride, and data doesn't flinch. When the numbers came in about temperature, atmosphere, chemical signatures, some of those planets didn't just match Earth's potential. They exceeded it. So now we face a new kind of question. Not are we alone, but what if Earth isn't even the best place to be? For decades, the night sky felt like a kind of graveyard. Distant stars, dead silence, and planets, if they existed at all, imagined as frozen, lifeless stones. Even when we dreamed of other worlds, they were blank. Barren moons, dusty deserts, gas-wrapped shadows too hostile to touch. But now, with the right instruments pointed at the right stars, a new truth is bleeding through the static. Planets are not rare. They are everywhere. Most stars have them. And some of those planets might not be dead at all. We call them super-Earths, worlds slightly larger than our own, with stronger gravity to hold thicker atmospheres, more stable climates, and deeper oceans. One of them, Kepler 442b, orbits a quiet orange dwarf star. It's cooler than the sun, but steady, the kind of star that could burn for trillions of years. Kepler 442b sits in the sweet spot, not too hot, not too cold. It might have water, it might have clouds, it might have been habitable before Earth even formed. And that's just one. There's Teegarden's Starb, just 12 light-years away. It could be rocky, warm, shielded by a magnetic field. Some simulations suggest surface conditions within striking distance of our own. It's close enough that, with the right propulsion, it could be humanity's first destination beyond the solar system. We used to think we were alone, not just in mind, but in place. Earth, the singular garden in a desert of noise. But what if we were just early in the search? What if our blue planet isn't a cosmic miracle, but a sample size of one? There are hundreds of super-habitable candidates already. That's not theory. That's observation. And somewhere out there in the dark between stars is a world that waits, not to be discovered, but remembered. She's watching a screen as data flickers to life. A new planet appears. Soft pink light, scattered clouds, an ocean too vast to name. She blinks. For a moment, she doesn't breathe. It's a cruel kind of question, one that seeps in after the awe fades. If there are better planets out there, more stable, more fertile, more forgiving, then why are we still here? Why are we clinging to this fragile rock with rising seas and thinning air, tectonic tensions and vanishing forests? We praise Earth's balance, but the truth is, it's always been a precarious one. The magnetic field that shields us, it's weakening. The climate, swinging with greater violence. Biodiversity, collapsing. We're not standing on solid ground. We're living on borrowed equilibrium. If we discovered a planet with fewer mass extinctions in its past, with a longer future before its star fades, would we still call this one home? Or are we here simply because we started here? Evolution has no sentiment. It adapts to whatever cradle it's given. But consciousness remembers. We've turned this world into myth, Eden, Gaia, Terra. And yet, all myths begin with forgetting something else, something older. Look at the data. A planet slightly larger than Earth means more gravity, enough to hold a thicker atmosphere, shielding life from radiation and regulating heat more efficiently. A red dwarf host star lives longer than our sun, slow-burning, quiet, generous with time. On some of these worlds, night and day don't switch like ours. They blur into eternal dusks or long golden mornings. Imagine growing up in a sky that never ends. Still, we stay. Why? Is it because we haven't found the courage? Or because leaving would mean admitting that Earth, for all its beauty, might be just good enough? She stands alone on a launch pad beneath a sky she's memorized. Engines hum in the distance, but she doesn't move. Her eyes are fixed not on what's coming, but on what she's afraid to leave behind. For centuries, we searched the skies asking one question: is there another Earth? We calibrated our instruments to look for replicas, planets with Earth's size, Earth's temperature, Earth's orbit. But what if that was the wrong question all along? What if the goal was never to find Earth again, but to find something better? In 2014, astrobiologist Renee Heller introduced a radical idea: the superhabitable world. Not just habitable, but superior. Not Earth 2.0, but Earth upgraded. His criteria were precise: a planet slightly larger than Earth, more surface area for life, a thicker atmosphere, better heat retention, more protection from radiation, a host star that's cooler and longer lived than the Sun, offering billions more years of stability, and a biosphere less prone to global catastrophes. It sounds theoretical until you realize these planets might already exist. Statistically, they should be more common than Earth-like ones. But we've only just begun to look. Think about that. Everything we've ever called life has been shaped by the quirks of this one planet. But life, biological complexity, might actually flourish more easily under different skies. Our version of paradise might be someone else's compromise. So maybe Earth shouldn't be the standard. Maybe it's just our local prototype. And the real question isn't whether we can find its twin, but whether we can recognize its successor. She stands in a simulation chamber. Around her, a 360-degree horizon. Lush violet forests breathe under twin suns. A lake glows faintly under pastel skies. It's not Earth, and that's exactly why she can't look away. Even if we found it, our better planet, our future Eden, there's no guarantee we'd go, because something invisible binds us here. Not gravity, not politics, something stranger, something heavier. Memory. Earth is not just coordinates in space, it's a smell in the soil after rain. It's the exact blue of a childhood sky. It's the sound of wind moving through trees that no longer exist. Every migration has a cost, but this one is different. To leave Earth isn't just to leave a place, it's to leave meaning. We like to think we're explorers, ready to leap into the unknown. But the truth is, we're sentimental, deeply, fatally. We plant roots in language and culture and weather patterns. We dream of other planets, but we fall in love with shadows of this one. Would we really abandon it, even if it's no longer first? Even if it's cracked, heating, fading? Maybe not. Or maybe we already have, in pieces. Every time we let a coral reef die, every time a river goes dry, every time a child breathes smoke instead of air. Maybe the harder truth isn't that we can't leave. It's that we've already started to without going anywhere. She sits alone in a museum no one visits. A globe spins slowly in the dark. Her hand rests on glass. The continents glow faintly, not with light, with memory. Maybe the real question isn't where do we go next? Maybe it's how do we see what we already have differently? If better planets exist, they don't threaten Earth's worth. They reveal it. They show us what it might have been, or still could be. We've spent centuries imagining escape, rockets, exodus, exile. But what if the real frontier isn't out there in the vacuum between stars, but here? In the way we treat this planet, in the way we redesign it, in the way we listen. Earth doesn't need to be the best. It only needs to be enough, and with science, empathy, and time, it might even become something more. We could reshape our cities into forests of light. We could pull carbon from air and salt from the sea. We could build new biomes, mimic other planets' resilience, and plant them here. Not as replicas, but as gratitude, as a gesture that says we've seen what's possible. Let's make it real, at home. The stars still call us, and maybe one day, we will go. Not as exiles, but as guests. Not because we had to, but because we chose to. Curious, ready, whole. She walks into the daylight of a new biosphere. Not Mars, not Kepler. Earth, restored, reimagined. A hummingbird hovers beside her. In her hand, a small device glows, projecting the orbit of another world. She looks at it for a moment, then tucks it away. So what if we found better planets than Earth? What if that's what it took to finally care for this one?